Welcome to Module 9. We're going to talk about area and perimeter. And our first video is all about calculating the area and circumference of a circle. So we're going to talk about area and perimeter of everything that we need to know about circles. Our next video will talk about the polygon. So here, our first formula is going to be circumference, and you probably already know circumference. Maybe forgot the formula, but you already have learned about circumference for the last several years. 2 pi r or pi d. Remember, diameter is all the way across the whole circle, and radius is going to be halfway. That's why 2 times r equals diameter. That's why these two formulas are equal to each other. And so we are going to be using that in our new formula. We're not going to practice circumference because I trust that you know how to do that. So here is a proportion, this right here. And it's going to be part over the whole for both of these fractions. So arc length is part of the circle, part of that length over the whole circumference. Remember, circumference, we are going to mostly use 2 pi r. And all the way around the circle in degrees is 360. That's the whole. And then it's just whatever measure that is goes on top. So it's like a puzzle piece that we have to figure out what goes where. So I always have my students do two fractions equal each other, and I put 360 degrees on the bottom. Now you just have to find all the parts. Think about if a degree is on the bottom, a degree has to go on the top. So that's going to be my 88 degrees in this picture. Because if it's a central angle, this degree is going to be 88 as well. And if it's asking you to find the arc length, that's where the x goes there. And then the bottom is 2 pi r. Well, r is 2, so 2 pi 2. Now when I solve, I am going to cross multiply. 360x, 2 times pi times 2 times 88. And I can just plug all of that into my calculator. Nothing fancy. If you have a pi button, use the pi button on your calculator. Every calculator should have a pi button. So after I type it in, I will get 1105.841, and then I just divide by 360. And you don't even have to retype it in. You can just put divide, and it should just give you the answer divided by, and then that's 3.072. And meters, since I'm talking about length, since the radius is in meters, the length is going to be in meters as well. Alright, so see if you can set up this one. This one's a little bit trickier. Remember, 38 is your feet. That means that is going to be my arc length. And I'm finding the measure of the arc. So see if you can set it up, and then we will solve together. Alright, so the 38 was your length because of the feet, so I put it on top. And then on bottom is 2 pi r, and it said it up here, which some people don't see it, is the radius is 12.3. And then x is what you want to find as your arc length, so I cross multiply. 2 pi times 12.3x, 38 times 360. So I'm just going to do 2 pi 12.3 in my calculator. So I get 77.283x, and then 38 times 360. And then divide. Just like if it was 2x, you would divide by 2. I get 177.012, And remember, we're talking degrees, so it's going to be in degrees. There we go. All right, so that was finding arc length or anything related to arc length. Now we're going to talk about area of a sector, an area of a circle. Remember, the area of a circle is pi r squared. So our problem for this is almost exactly the same. So if we see this, you should see flashbacks of our last slide. So area of a sector over total area. Remember, area of a circle is pi r squared now. And then arc measure over 360 is the exact same. So here I want to find the area of your shaded sector. So your degree is 63. I want to find the area of, of the shaded sector goes on top. The area of the circle goes on the bottom, which is pi r squared, and r is 5, so pi 5 squared. And now I cross multiply. So I get 360x, and then I'm going to do 63 times pi times 5 squared. Now I would recommend doing that with me, so then you know how to punch it into your calculator, making sure that you're getting the correct answer. And then I would divide by 360 to get 13.744. And it didn't have any units, so it would be units squared, because now we're talking about area. And area is always squared. So very similar to arc length. Now instead of 2 pi r, it's pi r squared. So see if you can set this one up. This one up is very similar, except remember we're finding now the area of the circle, and it gives you the area of the sector. So see if you can plug all those in, and then we will solve it together to make sure that you got it set up correctly. Okay, so this one, 22, is the area of your sector, and that goes on top. And now we want to find the area of the whole circle, so that goes on bottom. And then 45 over 360. So in this case, it's a simpler equation. 22 times 360. And then divided by 45. So the area of the circle would be 176 meters squared. So it's all about what are they asking you to find, what are they giving you, and finding the puzzle pieces to put it all together. Okay? So now there's some practice problems and a quiz. Good luck.